All right, let's dive into something incredible. Imagine a civilization almost 1,000 years ago where artisans figured out a secret, a way to take soft, easy to carve stone and turn it into this lasting legacy of art and, well, faith. That's exactly what we're talking about today, the amazing Hoysalas. Yeah, that line, it just perfectly sums up what the Hoysala Empire was all about. Because we're not just looking at buildings here, you know? We're talking about entire stories, deep devotion, and some seriously mind-blowing engineering that's carved into literally every single surface.
So, how does an entire empire get its name? Well, in this case, it starts with one single dramatic command. It's a story so epic, you'd think it came straight out of a myth.
All right, so here's the legend. You've got this young warrior, his name is Sala. He's with his guru, and suddenly a tiger threatens them. The guru yells, Hoysala, which means strike Sala. He does. He strikes down the tiger, and that phrase, well, it becomes their battle cry and then the name of an entire dynasty. How cool is that? And that legendary start, it kicked off a true golden age, all spearheaded by King Vishnuvardhana back in the 12th century. And look, he wasn't just about conquering his rivals like the Cholas. No, he built these incredible new capitals at Belur and Halebidu, and he turned them into the epicenters for some of the most breathtaking temples the world has ever laid eyes on. And their ambition, you see, it wasn't just political. It was deeply, profoundly architectural. The Hoysalas went on this building spree that would literally define their legacy in stone for hundreds of years. And the sheer scale of what they did is just astounding. I mean, they built hundreds of temples, and get this, over 100 of them are still standing today. Just think about that for a second. They've survived invasions, the fall of entire empires, and just the relentless passage of time. It's an absolutely incredible testament to how well they were built. So you might be asking, what makes these temples so special? Well, it's their signature architectural style. It's called Visara, and it was totally revolutionary for its time. Think of it like a fusion. The Hoysalas took the tall, towering features of a Nagara style from North India and blended them with the super ornate, detailed style of the Dravida from the south. The result? Something completely new, something that was 100% their own. And this is where they really broke the mold. You see, most other temple styles were all about height, reaching for the heavens with these massive, towering spires. But the Hoysalas, they focused their genius horizontally. They wrapped their temples in these incredibly intricate bands of sculpture and built these huge, lavish halls for worship. It completely changes how you experience the building. It draws your eye across it, not just up to the sky. A lot of their temples also use this really clever layout called the Trikuta plan. Okay, so what is that? It's a design with 3 shrines, all connected by one central hall, usually for different gods. But here's the genius of it. It wasn't just for worship. It was a brilliant architectural move because it tripled the amount of exterior wall space. And what does that mean? It gave their master carvers a much, much bigger canvas to do what they did best, carving. Okay, so this all brings us to the builders themselves, right? The actual artisans. How in the world did they achieve this kind of breathtaking perfection with just the simple tools they had back then? It's a question that honestly still baffles engineers and historians. No, I mean, really think about this. There's no electricity, no laser guides, no power tools, obviously. And yet the geometry is flawless. The details are almost microscopic. How on earth did they pull that off? Well, a huge part of the secret was their genius choice of material. They used this soft soapstone, it's called chloritic schist, that was apparently as easy to carve as wood when they first quarried it. But here's the incredible part, the real magic. Once it was carved and exposed to the air, the stone would harden over time, becoming super durable. So you combine that miracle material with some pretty advanced, almost mysterious techniques for laving massive stone pillars and an absolute mastery of geometry, and that's how you get these timeless wonders. But look, these temples aren't just incredible feats of engineering. They're basically libraries carved in stone. Every single surface tells a story. So if you look up, right at the brackets that hold up the temple eaves, you'll see these amazing figures. They're called Madanikas. They are celestial maidens, and every single one is unique, caught in a moment of dance or playing music or just in quiet thought. It's like they bring a living, breathing energy to the stone itself. And the storytelling on the outer walls is just brilliantly organized. They're covered in these horizontal bands called friezes, and you're meant to read them from the bottom up. So, at the very base, you've got elephants for strength and stability. Right above that, horses for speed in the cavalry. Then you get these beautiful, intricate scrolls. And then, this is the best part, you get entire epic stories like the Ramayana and Mahabharata playing out right in front of you. And finally, at the top, you have these mythical beasts called makaras acting as guardians. It's an entire worldview carved right there, layer by layer. And the way they told these epic stories was, again, totally revolutionary. They would often show multiple moments from a story all in one single panel. The best way to think about it is, yeah, like a comic strip carved in stone. You can actually follow the action, a hero fighting one demon, then the next, all in one continuous dynamic scene. It's just brilliant. Of course, like all great empires, the Hoysala's golden age had to come to an end, and their decline was, well, pretty tragic. But their legacy, what they left behind, that turned out to be so much stronger than the armies that tried to destroy it. Just look at the Veera Narayana temple. It's over 900 years old, and it's still almost perfectly intact. And its survival isn't just some lucky accident. It's because generations of local people actively protected it from invaders. And get this, one single family of priests has served at that temple for over 800 of those years. That's a living, breathing connection right back to the temple's origins. The end for the Hoysala Empire, though, came fast and it was brutal. In the early 1300s, armies from the Delhi Sultanate swept down from the north. The capital city, Halebidu, was sacked not once, but twice. Countless temples were damaged. The dynasty just crumbled. But right as they fell, a new power rose up, the Vijayanagara Empire. And they ended up acting as a vital shield, protecting and preserving what was left of the Hoysala's incredible creations. And so, even with all that destruction, what's left? The art, the beauty. The invaders, they could break the stones, sure, but they could never erase the stories, the craftsmanship, or the spirit that was captured inside them. It's a legacy that has truly, truly defied time. So that leaves us with a pretty big thought, doesn't it? The Hoysalas carved their entire world, their beliefs, their myths, their daily lives, into stone, hoping it would last forever. And it makes you stop and think, what are we creating today that will tell our story in 900 years? What will our legacy in stone be?